Hello, it's Stephen Hillman, the creator of the podcast Stories from the Scribe, as well as the author of the story Purple World. I want to get on here real quick to some content warning up ahead. For future episodes, I will put this in the beginning of the series, but just in case you jumped in the middle, I want to put some disclaimers. So this story does contain some deaths, nothing graphic, and there is some issues about suicide. So if that is a sensitive topic for you, I completely understand if you want to pass that by. Otherwise, I do hope you are enjoying these stories so far. Where we are now, I believe Ian and Daniel having a conversation about the world around them, and things got a little bit weird. We also saw the introduction with Team Echo, and today we'll get a little bit of the resolution of that. Once again, thank you for listening wherever you're listening from, either on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. I appreciate it. If the podcast platform allows you to leave a comment or to like the episode, I would greatly appreciate that. Okay, thank you. And now back to the show.
And then there was one. While it was true that if one was looking outside of the location that Daniel was in, it resembled a large cathedral saturated in purple, what might have looked even more odd was that it had another structure sticking out from the side of it. This, unlike the rest of the structure, was pale white in color and had very little physical appeal to it. It was utilitarian for use and looked as much. It was awkwardly placed as if it was welded inside one of the cathedral's towers. If one looked closer, they might have seen that much of its components were added later. The piece that penetrated the cathedral itself was a massive construction vehicle. Its large windows were blacked out, and its metal frame had been reinforced to make it even more extensive than before. Tall cranes were also connected to the structure to the ground and provided access for those wanting another entrance, or in this case, a way to monitor the activity happening on the inside. The inside had been converted into the command center, where only a part was inside the Purple World Cathedral. Trailer homes were attached at the top to allow for more rooms to fit the occupants' needs. One of those rooms was a monitoring room, where a tech watched the screen before him, with Ian and Daniel displayed on the main viewer. To his left, he watched another story, or at least its ending. They had lost communication a little while ago, and there was no visual either. The only thing left was the tracking units that each member wore. There were 3 lights on the screen. There used to be 4. Each represented a life of Team Echo, a life they employed to go out into that creature. Not that anyone cares. Most of the workers here don't know each other's names. Except for the doctor, he was different. He was the only one who had the clearance to know, well, whatever it was that he knew. Everyone else was expendable, just like the 2 lives that were still out there. He could tell that they were running away from something he couldn't see. He hoped they escaped, but none of the others did, so why would they be any different? Come on, you can make it, he spoke to himself. Maybe if he cheered them on, somehow, just maybe, someone would survive. What was that? He almost jumped out of his seat as the doctor strolled in. The elevator doors closed behind him. He'd been coming around a lot lately. He must believe that his newest rat will give him the answers he wanted to see. I'm sorry, sir. I was commenting on Team Echo. It looks like we are going to lose them. He glanced over at the other monitor, saw the 2 blinking lights, stood there for a few seconds, and watched as the 2 lights became one. It couldn't be helped, however inconvenient. We'll have to replenish our ranks quicker than expected. Sounding barely bothered by the situation. I suppose so, sir. The technician continued to watch the remains of Team Echo, wondering how long the last survivor would last. It's a pity, and I rather liked Echo 1. Dr. Ranger refocused his attention back onto the monitor displaying Daniel. Let's see what you are doing now, Daniel. Still with the other subject, sir. I can see that. Do we have audio in that location? Anxious, the technician ran through the programs, brought up the audio status, and focused on the two subjects. It looks like we have partial audio in that area. However, we also have a clear visual of their lip movements, so the program should be able to extract and generate a speech pattern to make up for what we can't actually hear. Surprising. I would be impressed if he did all that. After a few keystrokes, the main view screen expanded with a visual of the two subjects, but with faded audio. I don't get it. Are you saying this purple world is some sort of magic? But that makes no sense. The audio is cutting out, sir. I should be able to fix it in a moment and be done, the technician said, hoping to make good on his promise soon. His efforts proved fruitful as the scrambled audio returned. I'm not saying it's magic, but it's definitely otherworldly. You'll see strange things here, more than I already have. Dr. Ranger could see that Daniel seemed a little excited by that statement. He wondered just how long this facade would last. Oh yes, Daniel, who are you? Not long, Dr. Ranger thought. Ah, yes, finally, we are getting to it. Dr. Ranger smiled, seemingly getting the answers right in front of him. What do you mean? I told you all that I know. No, you haven't. Maybe you think you have, but there's something else. It has to be something to do with me. Ian, what are you talking about? I've never met you before today. That was yesterday? Sorry, I didn't mean to yell, but you've been here more than a day now. You haven't disappeared yet, which means you're real. Real? Dr. Ranger raised an eyebrow, although he wasn't too sure why. Although he knew about Ian's instability, something was here, and he could almost see it. Subject 2 seems to be getting scared. He's backing away from Subject 1. The technician interrupts the doctor's train of thought. Well, of course he is, wouldn't you be? But the question now is, will they go further? They have to know how they are connected. Clenching his fist, Ranger looks anxiously at the monitor, fearing his two subjects will move out of surveillance once again. Ian, I think you should calm down. Maybe you've been here too long. Calm? I've been very calm, patient even. I waited until now to ask you these basic questions. I've shown you around and introduced you to my friends, Clift, Harry, Murphy, and the other guys. I haven't named them yet. That's right. I keep forgetting to do that. It doesn't matter. You've had the dreams, haven't you? You know about that? Yes. Now tell me who you are. Wait, where are you going? Daniel? You're not thinking of leaving me, are you? Daniel, Subject 1 is out of visual range, sir. Yes, I have eyes. A frustrated Ranger said,